Larry, 85-year-old Hazel Buys was brought here to St. Luke's Hospital last Friday after she was found bedridden and lying in her own waste. This morning, she died, and tonight her family copes with both that terrible news and the fact that 3 of them are under investigation for letting it happen.
What we could see of the inside of the home showed rooms packed with clothes and trash. Vicki Martin says these are the conditions her friend Barb Tuggle was in for 2 weeks. Martin says Tuggle fell in December. She says the 74-year-old's daughter did nothing about it.
You do not step over your mother laying on the floor and let her lay in all her body excrements and vomit and dog, cat and stuff and walk over her.
I do think that there are some people that struggle, some people that, even though they have the best intentions for their loved ones, they're really doing them more harm than good because they don't have the resources or knowledge set to do what they need to do for their loved ones to keep them safe and healthy. I honestly believe people are good. I like to believe that we all do what we can for our loved ones. I think that if people are able and want to take care of their parents, that they will. But there are some that just aren't able for other reasons.
First of all, there's different types of elder neglect. There's financial, there's negligence or just neglect in general, there's physical abuse, emotional abuse, whole bunches of different stuff, and I've seen lots of all. The very first patient I ever saw in home care was in the Detroit area. Knocked on the patient's front door, I heard come in. I went to open the door and it would only open about 8 or 9 inches. Reason being there was so much garbage and junk piled inside the house that you only had, that's all the bigger the door would open. And there was a 12-inch wide pathway that led through the house to where an elderly woman was sitting in a lazy boy chair. She was not able to walk and she couldn't have walked through a 12-inch space anyway. So the family had been nice and given her a galvanized bucket so she could go to the bathroom in the bucket instead of just all over the chair and all over the floor.
According to the National Center on Elder Abuse, the number of older adults who are mistreated each year is close to 5 million and rising.
To me, our struggle is the American way tends to be take care of number one. The Jesus way is no, take care of each other. Do it the Jesus way. And I think that's the challenge today, is that we need to challenge our people to not live the American way because then everybody's into it for themselves. But the Jesus way is that we take care of each other. And if you take care of each other, then you're going to take care of the elderly as they should be taken care of.
Obviously, the way we feel about our elders is based on the Ten Commandments. So it's as solidly foundational a part of church teaching as we can get.
According to the National Center on Elder Abuse, 90% of abusers are family members.
Once you hit I'd say probably your 60s or 70s, society as a whole thinks, oh, you're old, you aren't working anymore, you're not contributing to things, let me take care of you. And often adult children treat their elderly parents like a child because they don't think that they're capable of making their own decisions anymore.
In fact, elder abuse, including neglect and exploitation, is experienced by 1 out of every 10 people ages 60 and older who live at home.
Years and years ago, it was common for multiple generations of a family to live in the same home. The kids, the grandkids, and the grandparents all in one home. And that seemed to work fairly well, but as we became a more mobile society, the grandparents tended to get left alone or put aside. And to this point, I think in general, most places, the elderly are kind of considered as a spare wheel and not really part of any sort of family unit.
In paragraph 2208 of the Catechism, it states that the family should live in such a way that its members learn to care and take responsibility for the young, the old, the sick, the handicapped, and the poor.
Obviously, the commandment to honor our mother and our father is going to be the guideline that we use. But furthermore, Jesus cranked everything up a little bit higher, actually a lot higher, to the law of love. And so in every individual family situation, it's the way we love that matters. It's the way we meet the needs and the care of each individual person that's going to matter. And the respect that we show them, the attention we show them, the time we show them. And in every family, that's going to be a little bit different.
The Catechism also states in paragraph 2214, the respect of children, whether minors or adults, for their father and mother is nourished by the natural affection born of the bond uniting them. It is required by God's commandment.
So sometimes that means a kind of a sacrificial love. It means giving them a kind of attention and care that can be tedious, can be time consuming. That's the way it is for some people. So we try to respect. I think respect is going to be the answer.
Recent studies in a large population indicate that prevalence of the elder self-neglect is about 9%.
How can we help prevent elder neglect?
I think it's important to be empathetic when you're working with the residents or clients, any elder. So just understanding what they're going through. I guess my experience would be with my own grandparents and understanding those hardships, coming with family, needing to take care of them, and that personal need, saying that I need to do what's best for my parents or my grandparents. What do I do for them? What facility would best take care of them? Trying to find the right path for them, either for physical needs, housing needs, emotional needs, etc.
So it really comes down to families understanding the value of what a grandparent can be, and the families basically believing that there's a reason to still see value in their grandparents and great-grandparents, and having them around the family is a value to the kids and everybody else that are involved.
Understanding and learning from this next generation is something very important to them. Soaking up knowledge and seeing youth is a huge help, and you'll just see the smiles on everybody's faces when youth or teens come in.
How can we reach out and meet the needs of all of the people in our parish and in our community, especially those who appear to not have somebody to love them. We need to love them.